are shining a light on people who've chosen to love when they could have just walked away, simply. That's certainly true of my next guest. When she was walking down a street in downtown Portland, Oregon, she saw a homeless young man who reminded her of her own son. So instead of passing him by, she dared to love, not only helping him with a little cash, but so much more. Meet Stacy Jennings, y'all. So tell me about meeting this man on the road. Like, what you said it reminded me of your son, but what happened from there?
I was working downtown, and I was walking to a shoe store, and I passed this John, and he looked like my son. He was about the same age of my son. He just tugged at my heart. So I stopped to talk to him. We talked for a little bit, kind of knew where he wanted to go and what he was doing, and I gave him some money, but I felt like I needed to ask him about his mom. And I asked him, how long has it been since you've talked to your mom? And he said, it's been a long time. And I said, well, I'd really like you to do me a favor, and I'd really like you to call her and tell her that you're okay. Yeah. And he said, well, I'll call her right now if I can use your phone. So I handed him my phone, and he called his mom.
That's amazing. So it's amazing. It's first of all amazing that you didn't just stop. You could have just walked by. You could have just given money. You could have just done so many things, but you just kept going above and beyond, which is so cool. And to care about the mother, because you know the mother's got to be worried sick if he hadn't talked to his mother in so long. Like, so how did that call go with mom?
I could tell that she was really overwhelmed, very emotional. He put her on speaker, and he said, my mom really wants to talk to you. And she was in tears. She was confused as to who I was, so he was trying to explain to her who I was. And she asked me to give her son a hug, and John said, oh, Mom, she doesn't want to hug me. I'm filthy and I stink. And they laughed a little bit. He said his goodbyes, and when he gave me back my phone, he said, again, my mom really wanted you to give me a hug, but I know I'm filthy and I know I stink. And I said, I don't care. He did. And that
means he wanted it. He
of
needed
course.
it. Yeah.
Right. And his mom needed it. He needed it.
Yeah.
So I gave him a hug, and it was a really special hug. It was like hugging my own son.
Wow. So this is, once again, you go above and beyond. So it was a couple weeks later that you ended up getting in touch with his mom again?
It was. I'd been thinking about her a lot, but I was nervous about calling her. You know, I don't know who this person is, and I don't know if she'd even want to hear from me.
Yeah.
But I finally got up the courage, really kind of hoping she wouldn't answer the phone.
Yeah.
And she and her husband were camping, and they missed a call from Morgan, and she said to her husband, oh my gosh, I think John called. So she called me real quick. We didn't talk long because she was camping, but in that very short window of time, we learned so much, so many parallels. Her oldest son is a detective. My youngest son is a deputy sheriff.
What?
And then she's got John, who's a struggling addict, and I have my oldest son is a struggling addict in recovery, but it's been a long journey. So we had these...
Like that, this is the time when I can't understand when people don't believe in something bigger than yourself. Whatever that is.
Right?
Like, whatever that is for you, but like,
it just gave me chills.
Really random happenstance.
Yeah.
Like, that cannot be coincidence.
No.
Wow. So tell us what happened a few weeks ago.
Kelly and I just had this amazing connection, and I really wanted to try and find him for her. I felt like I needed to do more. So my husband and I drove downtown, and 2 blocks down, there's a guy with a dog. And as soon as John stood up, I knew it was him, and I just said, John. And I pulled out my phone, because I get super excited. So I said, we need to get your mom on the phone again.
Which is gotta be so cool for him. Like, thinking that nobody probably cares, and he's just in the middle of nowhere, and then you came back weeks later. That's so cool.
He said, nobody's ever done anything like this for me before.
I've never heard of anyone doing like any of
made me feel good. But,
yeah.
You know,
it's such a special thing.
It was fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you asked him to live with you, right?
He called his mom. They talked for a little bit. While they were on the phone, I asked my husband if I could offer to let him come home with us. And
I mean, that's kind of scary because you don't know the person.
I have no idea, but I knew Kelly. I mean, I knew his mom, Kelly.
Yeah, you know me now.
So I felt pretty comfortable about who he was.
Yeah.
You know, at that point, I wasn't nervous about that. And he he said yes. You know, warm bed and food sounded good to him.
Yeah.
So he
but
came
it's
home
still a
with
stranger's home. Was he a little nervous when he got there?
It took him a while to adjust, but he'd been there a couple weeks and he said, it's starting to feel really good to feel normal again. So, and that just made me feel good that he was.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So John's mom, Kelly, knows that you take care of him, right? You keep
yeah.
in contact?
Yeah, and she talked to him almost every day, talks to him almost every
Wow.
day while he was with us.
So you've spoken to John's mom on the phone, but you've never actually met in person, right?
No, I've never met her. I'd love to meet her someday.
Wow.
Never met her.
Okay, well, Stacy doesn't have to wait any longer. She doesn't know this, but John's mom, Kelly, is actually here. Kelly, come on out! Come on over! Oh, where are you going? You go, oh, well, she's... She took the long way. You took the long route. So how does it feel to finally see each other in person?
Oh my gosh, it's amazing. I don't have a sister, so I call her my sister now. We have so much in common, and she's been my little guardian angel, or John's guardian angel. And this disease, you hear about it, and you think, oh, that'll never happen because...
I think everyone knows someone. It's like that thing, unfortunately, I think everyone knows someone that's affected by addiction.
Oh, definitely. And being involved with your family, my husband, everybody's so involved like you. Everybody's so involved with their families, and you think, I'd see it.
Yeah.
So, woo!
Yeah.
No,
I
it can happen to anyone. Everybody always
yes.
thinks they're above it as well. Like, it can happen to anyone.
Exactly, exactly.
Well, I am so happy that you both found each other and that this is happening. It's so beautiful. Before Stacy intervened, you hadn't heard from John in months, right, Kelly?
No, I haven't heard from him. And days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months. So inevitably, I just thought the worst. I just thought the worst, and all I could do was pray that he was fine and hope I didn't get that terrible call.
Wow. So what was it like to pick up the phone one day and then all of a sudden just hear John?
Oh my gosh. Well, I have to tell you what happened first. I was having one of those I need a good cry day, which I usually don't.
Oh, girl, I
have.
feel you.
Yeah. And my husband just left to meet our oldest to go out do something. My phone rings, not even 2 minutes later.
Wow.
And it's John, and the emotions were overwhelming. I'm going, oh my gosh, asked him a million questions and carried on. And then after that, that mom mode kicked in. Why haven't you texted me?
Then it turns into using their middle name.
Exactly, and that's exactly what I did.
Because every mama would worry. That's your baby.
Exactly.
No matter how old they are.
No
They're
matter
always going to be
how
your baby.
old they are,
Yeah.
they're still your baby. And I said, what happened? He told me the story, and I said, well, whose phone are you using then? And then he said, this nice lady came up to me, and I said, well, thank her for me, and he put me on speaker. And I said, thank you, Stacy. I really appreciated it. I needed that.
Oh, so
Well, he loves his mama.
yeah.
And
well,
that's
you can
really
tell.
clear.
Even you said you want to call your mom. You said, yeah. Can I use your phone?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty quick.
It was cool.
Yes. So how long has it been since you've seen him? Not only talked to him. How long has it been since you've seen John?
Almost 2 years.
Oh my
I mean,
gosh, for
it's
a
been-
mama, I can't even
yeah.
imagine.
Yes, yes.
Wow.
It's hard because,
Yeah.
you know,
I mean, they grow up and go their own way anyway, but like, especially
Well-
not knowing where.
exactly.
Yeah.
You don't know if they're alive or healthy or what's going
Yeah.
on. And you miss them at the holidays because
Yeah.
he is a brother, he is an uncle. You know, he's a
Yeah.
grandson and a son, most important, you know.
You are missed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's a lovely thing for him to find out too. Well, here's the thing, John is here.
No.
And he can't wait. He cannot wait to see his mama in person. He hasn't seen her in forever. Are you ready for this? You ready? Come on out, John. How you doing?
How are you?
Come say hi to your mama. I'm Kelly, by the way. Nice to meet you. Yeah, come on in.
Oh, I love
feet being dirty now.
John and Kelly, how does it feel to see each other again? 2 years, that's a long time.
It is a long time.
Yes.
It is.
Yes.
I'm blessed.
It is.
Luckiest guy in the whole wide world. You know, I've noticed that no matter where I go, I've been traveling, you know, and no matter where I go, good hearts find good hearts, and they all come together no matter what.
Wow.
You know, and so, yeah, blessed.
So how are you doing now?
I'm doing good.
You doing
I'm
good?
doing good, yeah. You know, taking it just for a day. You know, I've been clean and sober for a while now. Actually living.
Congratulations. That's hard.
Yeah. Living on the streets, honestly, gave me a different perspective in life, and you know, I don't need that.
Yeah.
But you know, you can always build up and start over.
And you're doing it.
I am.
And I'm super proud of
thank
you.
you
I
for
just
that.
met you, and it's a super brave thing just to do this, just to come out here and say that. But so, John, something you want to ask your mom? I thought you may.
Well, I don't know. Kind of, they asked me. I feel like I'm proposing to you.
It just got like real Game of Thrones.
Right? I was honestly wondering if I could just come back home for a little bit.
Well, of course you can.
Yeah, they're taking me back. They're getting their bus back to Missouri.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh! What a powerful story, y'all. It's a beautiful thing to reconnect like that. Subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to my channel. Please don't make me keep going.